Hi everybody, how are you doing? It's kind of a cool day here in Naju today. I think it's November 3rd, is that right? Is it November 3rd? Yes, it's November 3rd. And I posted the midterm scores. They're online. You can check them. I'm just going to talk about the midterm today. Oh yeah, I posted two things. I'm sorry, there was a problem. Uh, so Jungan Shihom, that's your midterm score. If you look under that column, that's your midterm score. Where it says Sajan Haksub, um, I posted the grades yesterday, and I wasn't at home, and I didn't have the USB file. I didn't have the USB file with your homework scores, because I was gonna post the homework scores up to now, but I didn't have them. So I just put a score of 20 under that. Everybody got 20. That could change though, because I'm gonna have to change that at some point to to mark down your real your real homework score. For now, it's not important, but if anybody wants to know their score for their homework, maybe you could just send me a message and I could try and get that for you. So, if you've got a score of 20 right now, you may not have one at the end of the semester when the final scores are posted. Okay? So, I'm sorry about that. I really thought I had the wrong USB with me, and so I didn't have the file because I have it all on a spreadsheet. Your homework scores. And I posted it now, and I yeah. Anyway, I'm too busy to change it today. So, so the other thing is we're just going to go over the exam. So the exam scores were good. Everybody got a good score. Well, one student didn't do their midterm. Hung. If that one student would like one more chance to do their midterm and still get a score, they can send me a message asking if they can still do their midterm. I'm not going to say the student's name, but that student can contact me and say, "Professor, can I take my midterm late? I'm sorry." And I will say, "I don't know." And they'll say, "Oh, please, you're such a handsome professor and so kind and smart." And I'll say, "Ooh." And, we'll go back and forth a few times, and maybe I'll let you do it. Now, if that one student wants to contact me, maybe I'll let them. Okay? Gosh, I need a haircut. So I'm just going to go over some parts of it. I'm going to look over a few sample tests and just cover everything, or cover some different things. The first page was about the small talk. That was mostly good. I think the first part of it, just answering the questions, everybody got those. Everybody got those. The second part was asking questions. So you have the answer and you have to ask a question. For the third answer, I guess I should say, the third answer is I'm a freshman. And some people wrote, "What is your job?" Um, we didn't really cover jobs and stuff, uh, but that should have been what is your major? What's your grade? What year are you in? Um, Something like that. So I think that was the only one that was common. Oh, right. The fourth answer, I have an older sister. I think some people asked, do you have a sister? It's not really common to ask if you just have a sister. It's more common to ask, do you have any brothers or sisters? Or siblings. Um, so, anyway, that's pretty good though. Oh, the fifth one. I enjoy traveling and listening to music. I was hoping you were going to answer what are your hobbies. But if you answered something similar, that was okay. Like, what do you enjoy doing? That's okay. Okay, second page. Oh, always and stuff like that. I think that was all good. Always, never, rarely. Yeah, I think everybody got those. They were all right. I even made a mistake on one of them. Yanny. I don't know if you noticed that, but anyway. The second part was just asking you how often you do things. Now, I was just hoping you were going to say I usually meet my friends on the weekend or something like that. Some of you said I don't go to cafe because of Corona or COVID. Well, I was hoping. I mean, you could say something similar to that. I wanted you to use those adverbs of frequency. So, a better answer would have been I never. Uh, I never go to cafes now because of COVID. But yeah, I was expecting you were going to use the adverbs of frequency. Other times, people would just answer with an adverb of frequency. How often do you study? Usually. How often do you go to a cafe with friends? Sometimes. How often do you go shopping? Never. I said before in the review, I'd like you to try a full sentence. So I couldn't give you a full score for those. If you just wrote always, usually, sometimes, rarely, or never. Excuse me. So sorry about that. So yeah, some people. I think most of you actually did it right. Mostly right. You just said I often go to a cafe with friends or something. But like a small number of people just wrote the adverb of frequency. I think 2 or 3 people, and some people wrote a sentence but didn't put the adverb of frequency. So you both got a little bit of a score, but not the full score for those. Okay? So that might be why your score is a bit lower. The food one, oh yeah, the count and non-count nouns, those were all fine, I think. Describe how to make ramen. So I picked something really easy, right? I didn't really say, but I gave more points if you could use more sequencers. So first, second, then, next, finally. Some people didn't use sequencers, or they might have just used first, which I put that. So I gave you more of a score if you wrote more and you used more sequencers. So if you didn't write as much, your score wasn't as high. Oh man, I'm dry right now. Water break. Holidays, special days, and that. I think mostly everybody did well with these. Oh, again, I think some people lost points because they didn't use a full sentence. You might have just written the date. Like, well, the first one, Christmas, and you just write December 25th. If you wrote a full sentence, Christmas Day is on December 25th, you'd get a better score. I think somebody actually made a bit of a mistake with one of the holidays. I think it might have been Liberation Day, I wrote the name in Korean, both for Independence Movement Day, Samyeoljol, and Liberation Day, Gwangbokjol. I wrote the names in Korean too. And somebody, I think it was for Liberation Day, somebody wrote Liberation Day is on January 1st. That's Gwangbokjol. Is Gwangbokjol on January 1st? No, that's New Year's Day. Korean, Seihei? Seihei Bokmani Bara Juseo? Something like that? Seihei, I think it is. Yeah, you should have written August 15th, but you still wrote a full sentence, so actually you got a score for it. I said that in the review. Writing a full sentence and getting the date wrong is better than writing the correct date but no full sentence. I don't really care about the correct date. I care about you trying to write a full sentence. So, when was the last time? Yeah, that was mostly good, I think. Preferences was mostly good as well, I think. The first part, bigger, more delicious, faster, all that stuff. I think everybody got full score for that one. Oh, but the second part, which do you prefer, traveling in Korea or traveling abroad? When we covered this, we talked about like cats and dogs and beer and soju. I tried to give like 3 or 4 different reasons. So if you got a better score if you tried to write a sentence and you gave more reasons. So if you only gave one reason, well, that's okay, but it's better if you gave more reasons, using more comparatives. So do you prefer traveling in Korea or traveling abroad? You could say traveling abroad is more interesting, more exciting, more of an adventure, more adventuresome, I guess I should say. More memorable, like you remember it better. But traveling in Korea, I don't know. I don't think anybody wrote about traveling in Korea, or maybe just 1 or 2 people. Traveling in Korea is maybe cheaper, easier because of speaking Korean. It's more familiar. And yeah, same with the second one. Which do you prefer, watching movies at home or going to a movie theater? I think most people wrote at home, especially now with COVID. It was all about watching movies at home. More comfortable, more convenient, cheaper, easier. I think if you liked the movie theater, you'd say stuff like, the big screen is better. The volume is louder. The snacks are better, more delicious. Okay, and I think, oh yeah, the superlative, that was just an extra part at the end. That was fine too. Yeah, I think that was all good. It's a pretty good test. Yeah, everybody got a really good score though. So if you want to ask me any questions about your test, if you have a question about your score, please send me a message and I'll give you more information. So we don't really have time today, I don't think. But I'm going to give you a little preview of the next thing. On Friday's class, we're going to start talking about giving advice. Okay? Things you should and shouldn't do. Now, the chapter in the book, I don't know if you have the book handy or if you bought the book, but the chapter in the book says is about health problems, like if you have a cold. So if you have a cold, people would say that you should take a rest. You should drink tea, drink some hot drinks, drink lots of water, take medicine. In English, we use the verb take when we have medicine. Oftentimes, Koreans learning English will say that they eat or drink medicine. But in English, we don't use those. We don't say eat or drink. When it comes to medicine, we take medicine. So yeah, you could take medicine, see a doctor, stay home. But things you shouldn't do would be things that aren't so good for you. So my mother always said you shouldn't drink milk when you have a cold. Because, you know, I can't remember the Korean word, but when you get a cold, you get all this stuff in here and in your nose. It's called phlegm. All that stuff, you know, you sneeze and blow your nose and stuff. That's gross. Yeah, phlegm. And my mother always said that milk can build phlegm. I think my grandmother actually told me this. If you drink milk, you get more phlegm. So it can make your cold worse. So you shouldn't drink milk or dairy products. Don't consume any dairy products. Those would be things like milk and milk products. Dairy includes milk, cheese, ice cream, yogurt. Would sort of be the big ones. You have a cold. Some people say don't drink cold drinks. It depends. Some people like orange juice, though, when they have a cold. But not many. More hot drinks are better. Oh, yeah. Here in Korea, I said tea, but sengang cha, ginger tea, is very good for a cold. Yuja cha. But yeah, things you shouldn't do. You shouldn't have dairy products. You shouldn't have cold drinks. Or many cold drinks. You shouldn't go to school or go to work, maybe. So yeah, we're going to talk about some examples of that on Friday. And continue maybe next week, and then the following Friday, so just over a week from now, I think we'll have our third round of speaking activities over Kakao Talk. I'll tell you more about that probably next week, though. But maybe, we're up to about 20 minutes here, so maybe that's good for today. So as I say, if you have any more questions, if you would like more information about your midterm, please contact me, send me a message, and I'll try to get back to you. But that'll be all for today. So take care, and we'll see you next time. All right. Bye.